Let's dive into the nitty-gritty.
Con Air was released on June 6th, 1997. I feel like it was like 2 weeks before Face Off, something like that. Like, because we talked about it on the Face Off episode where they were filmed right after each other. So like he flew from Con Air to Face Off like right afterwards, and they're almost overlapping on the production. So
Yeah.
that was the summer of Cage, man. This is
He's had a few of those.
Yeah, this was coming off of The Rock the previous summer, and then he did these two. So this is considered Cage's holy trinity of action. So next season we're going to start off with The Rock, so we'll finish off the trilogy, which we went in reverse order. So
We're going to The Rock.
I think The Rock is the best.
It's a better movie. Yeah.
I think it's the best movie out of that, which is saying a lot because I hate Michael Bay. But I think that's probably the best Michael Bay movie there is out of all of them.
I don't know. Bad Boys 2 is pretty good.
Island was pretty good.
The Island was all right.
The Island.
That was him. I forgot that was him.
Yeah. I always forget it's him too because I liked it.
Yeah, because it's actually a decent movie.
Yeah.
But if you watch it back, there are so many hallmarks of Cage, or of Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Cage.
Cage.
Cage should have been in that.
His influence is vast.
I mean, you hire Ewan McGregor, you're going to get a good performance.
ScarJo.
Was she in that? I forget. It's
Yeah.
been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, it was
she was in it, right?
That's the female lead, right?
Yeah.
Had a budget of $75 million and made $224 million, which is actually lower than I thought it was. But 224 is still 1997 money. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Maybe everybody went to see Face Off, so they didn't go to see.
They were seeing Con Air, and then
the next week.
Yeah, the next week, screwed it all up. Damn Cage movies, outdoing other Cage movies. Face Off is our second highest grossing, behind National Treasure at 245. So, I mean, that's $500 million in one, summer for one actor.
Yeah,
That's why he's still around. Bankable. Cage is bankable.
You're goddamn right he is.
So it's directed by Simon West, as I said in the opening. Directed the music video for "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Wasn't he also the arms dealer in
Simon West?
Lord of War?
No, but he also directed "The General's Daughter" with Travolta. There's so many overlaps between Travolta's career and Cage's career. It's amazing.
It's because they were red hot at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. Also directed Lara Croft's Tomb Raider, which I believe is that's the first one, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Expendables 2 and Stolen, which we'll be watching next season. Written by Scott Rosenberg, who also wrote Gone in 60 Seconds. So we talked about him quite a bit on the other episode, in our Gone in 60 Seconds episode, but I'll just point out a couple more movies that he did. He also wrote High Fidelity, which is John Cusack. So a lot of overlaps between Cusack and Cage as well.
Yeah.
He wrote the new Jumanji movies, those two, which I think are actually pretty decent, actually pretty good movies.
They're fun.
Fun, just kind of popcorn movies.
Yeah.
And that Venom, first Venom movie.
Oh.
I feel bad because I feel like there was probably a better movie in there that the studio noodled into what the fuck we ended up seeing.
Yeah. Seems to happen a lot.
Yeah. The second one, I don't think there was a good movie in that at all. I think we got what we got.
Yeah.
Shot by David Tattersall, who also shot all 3 of the Star Wars prequels. Nigel, I know you'll appreciate that tidbit.
Huh. I hadn't heard that guy's name at all.
Tattersall. Also shot The Green Mile, Tomb Raider 2, Cradle of Life. So that's the second
so
one.
Funny.
The Majestic and Die Another Day, a.k.a. the worst James Bond movie ever made. Oof.
Great name. Terrible movie.
Yeah. God, that movie was god-awful. It was like they had, they tried to make it into a Michael Bay movie, but failed even to hit that. Like him surfing was the jump the shark moment for the James Bond series. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't. It's so weird, like that, like the Brosnan ones. Like you have GoldenEye, which is still considered
Great,
one of the best Bond films. Then you have World's Not Enough, which was not good. Then you have Die Another Day.
There was also Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh yeah,
I feel
Tomorrow
like
Never Dies.
One of the other ones was good. Was it Tomorrow Never Dies? One of the
That
other.
was the one he did after GoldenEye.
I feel like the first two were pretty good, and then the third one was not so great, and then the fourth one was just awful.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to come back for a fifth one, but then was the broccoli family,
The Broccolis.
the Broccolis, decided that it was time to reboot after how terrible that last movie was, and it made for the best Bond movies after that, I believe. In my personal opinion, I watched every single one of them somewhat recently, and I will say that the what's his name, new guy,
Daniel Craig
series is easily the best out of all of them. I know everybody holds the Sean Connery ones in super high esteem, but Sean Connery was the best Bond. But those movies are awful.
Yeah, they're campy.
Like almost hardly coherent.
Yeah, they're a product of their time, unfortunately, because they wasted such a great Bond and such a great actor. But that's what people wanted at the time. That's why they were wildly successful.
Yeah.
I still think From Russia with Love's pretty good.
Yeah.
But wasn't that when they brought him back? Wasn't that his first movie back after they left for a little bit?
After they had George Lazenby play one?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I would say the Lazenby one is really good.
I think that I think it was Never Say Never was the one that they brought him back for, I think.
That was the one where he was with another studio. So he left the Broccoli series, and then am I saying it's right?
Yeah,
it's a Broccoli family, right?
They actually are like part of like the vegetable broccoli is like a strain was made by that family. Like it's
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's another weird fact.
Anyways, we could talk Bond all night.
Yeah,
that's our
maybe
next
that's another show we'll do.
Bond.
Hey, hopefully Cage is the next Bond. That'd be awesome.
You could do all the Bond movies
British.
in like one season versus 200 Nic Cage movies.
He also shot Next, so it's another movie we'll eventually
Nic
talk
Cage
about.
Poor fuck.
Yeah,
That was a Nic Cage one, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I was getting it confused with Knowing. Because he's got
I
such a
get
head
those
for
too.
Knowing.
I get those two confused.
this had 3 editors for some reason.
Wow. They each took an act.
Each took one act. It does kind of feel that way, doesn't it? First, we'll just go down the line here. Chris Lebenzon, who also edited The Outsiders, Stay Gold, Pony Boy, that one. Weird Science, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and also directed a ton of Tim Burton movies, which I feel like we talked about this guy at some point also. Has 2 Academy Award nominations for Top Gun, the original Top Gun, and Crimson Tide. And he also edited Gone in 60 Seconds. So nobody's perfect.
Yeah, we did talk about him then.
Yeah. Steve Merkovich, who edited Hardcore Henry.
Oh my God.
But Fire in the Sky, the Alien movie.
I don't know if anybody could have made
World.
Hardcore Henry look good. Like, I don't know what editor you could give that to and be like, here,
Hardcore Henry, yeah.
make something watchable.
This first-person shooter of a movie. Make it look awesome. Also did Cool World, that Brad Pitt, Who Framed Roger Rabbit ripoff.
Oh, yeah. God.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's my favorite movie.
Is it really your favorite?
Yep.
Wow. There we go. I thought for sure it was a Star Wars movie. It was your favorite.
Big Trouble in Little China.
That's one movie I really hope that, because they keep flirting with remaking it, and I really don't think that that's a movie that they should remake. I mean, it's a product of its time. It should stay. It should stay what it is.
Yeah.
Certain movies you don't need to remake.
I think rebooting it would ruin the magic of that movie.
Yeah.
You can't capture that again.
No. And Glenn Scantlebury, who edited Godfather 3. Well, I mean, I would say the editing on it was good.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Nice.
Armageddon, Tropic Thunder,
Nice.
Transformers, and Stolen. A lot of Stolen crossover on this one.
I guess when you have a career as long as Cage, you tend to get run in the same circles.
I've noticed that a lot as we've started like pointing out these people. Is there's a lot of crossover with Cage movies. It's kind of people.
I mean, Hollywood's big, but it's not that big. You got to be really good at what you do to keep getting jobs. Mm-hmm. Unless you're M. Night Shyamalan, then they just keep giving you money for some reason.
He has like 1 in 5 that does really well.
Yeah. Doesn't he self-fund most of his stuff? Yeah, I think so. Probably how that works. I don't know how he has so much money, but
Ponzi scheme. I think he was involved in the FTX. It's a timely joke. Nobody's gonna get in 2 years.
Music by Mark Mancina, who did 2 amazingly terrible movies. Space Mutiny, which if you have not seen is fucking amazing. Space Mutiny was on Mystery Science Theater way back when.
I remember that.
It is a goddamn masterpiece of awfulness. It is so fucking good. And Future Force, which was done by Riff Tracks, which was also just, so good. So good. If you like bad movies, like hilariously bad movies, those 2 movies are unbelievably great. So good. But Mark Mancina started out on those terrible movies and then eventually made his way to doing Speed, Bad Boys, Assassins, that I think it was Stallone and Antonio Banderas, right? Twister, Training Day, Denzel Washington movie, and most recently Cry Macho, which is the worst Clint Eastwood movie I've ever seen. I don't know what happened there. That movie is just, I like had to stop watching it after about 25 minutes. It's just like, this is terrible.
Damn.
He is getting up there. He's like 90 now.
Jeez.
And him playing a badass that everybody's scared of and is and is super tough was just so not believable. And also done by Trevor Rabin, which we've talked about a bunch now. Did Gone in 60 Seconds, the guy who was the Yes guitarist who wrote Own Over Lonely Heart on the toilet, and kind of invented this generic Michael Bay style score. Composer Mark Mancina had to leave the project in the middle of scoring it due to scheduling conflicts with Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a great movie, which was slated to open at the same time as this film in June of 1997. So Trevor Rabin, who was already on board working closely with Mancina, co-writing some of the music shortly before Mancina left. And I feel like it does have that like Michael Bay-esque score to it, but I feel like it's a little bit better. I feel like the music's a little bit better. So maybe it was the Space Mutiny guy who who made it just a tiny bit less generic sounding.
Yeah.
Ratings. This has a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not amazing. 5.7 out of 10, 71 reviews. That's about, I feel like that's about right.
Yeah.
Audience score, though, 75%.
Not surprising.
Not surprising. No.
Yeah.
Then back to the critics, 52% on Metacritic. IMDb, 6.9%, or 6.9 out of 10. So back to the audience again. The audience loves this movie. Critics hate it. And then the cinema score was a B+. I feel like this is like the third movie in a row that we've done that's been a B+. I mean, I don't feel like if you went to watch an action movie and you watch this movie and you give it a B+, I feel like that's pretty harsh.
Yeah. Especially this is like very typical late 90s action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like think like Speed, Face Off, like all those cheesy action films, because he came out before Matrix, which I feel like kind of started changing what action films were to be. So I feel like that's harsh. A B+ for a dumb summer blockbuster.
Might have been the cartoon ending of Cyrus the Virus at the end. I feel like that would have spoiled my review.
You got a little ridiculous.
Really ridiculous.
Just a bit, like just a little, literally over the top.